Yo, a quick blur before we press on. I usually refrain from talking about politics and current events and all of that because you guys mainly follow me for film. But I feel I at least need to acknowledge what's happening on this platform. Systemic racism, police brutality, it isn't just a problem for black people, it's kind of an everybody problem. I have been discriminated against in my life. It's not fun. For those of you who support the movement, oh man, all the love in the world, thank you so much. There are links below for more places that you can donate to help out and keep the movement going. If me mentioning this upsets you and you want to unsub, hey, I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. I honestly wish you well on your journey, bruh, and maybe that's better for both of us. At the end of the day, you gotta do you, boo, but I do wish you well. Keep learning, keep hustling, keep making every day count, and let's press on.
Yo, Darius Britt here. So, what do we do when our projects fall through, man? When you spend all that time and all that energy on something, and then it just like goes up in smoke. Right in front of you. What do? Do we just roll over and play dead? A little context for this conversation. I was working on a short film called Stay Pretty. As you guys know, I've talked about it on Instagram and Twitter, and it was like the perfect window between, me doing the YouTube videos and the courses and all of that. I started this short film in September of last year. I was pushing myself into areas that were outside of my comfort zone. This is the first time I had an actual editor for a short. This is the first time I was working with a legit composer. Anyways, fast forward, and the coronavirus just like pumped the brakes on all of that. And now the whole thing is just kind of a mess. Everybody took a hit. I mean, look at the studios. They took a major blow. I'm sure that some of you out there are in the same position with your projects. It sucks. It's not just that you don't get to do that cool thing that you wanted to share with the world, but it's the time, it's the money, it's the energy, it's the effort, it's the opportunity cost. If you are in the same boat as me currently, what do we do? Where do we go? Where do we go from here? Pocket projects. I am a firm believer in always having backup projects for cases exactly like this. I mean, not just having one backup project, maybe a few. Backup projects are projects that don't require as many resources to pull off as your ambitious projects. If your main project idea would take like the budget of $1,000, then your backup project would cost somewhere around $200 and fewer actors. You get the idea. This way, if your main idea just tanks for some reason or the project falls through, then you just kind of like, scooch right on over to that back pocket idea you had and do that one, and you can just keep the momentum going. You see the same thing in the professional space. Why do you think producers have so many projects in development? You think a project is a go and it's gonna take off, and then it just kind of just fizzles. The only way to insulate yourself from that risk is to have more projects going on, have more irons in the fire. So if 5 of them tank and they go nowhere, but then 1 of them does, you still have that momentum. Things are still happening.
Before I go too much further, we have to talk about 5-day deals, brother. They're having a massive bundle sale starting today, June 11th through June 16th. It's only gonna last 5 days, hence the name. They are selling their complete video creators bundle. It's packed full of courses, assets, and tools for you guys. The bundle is valued at over $2,600, but you're not paying that. We're talking deep discounts. You're getting the bundle for as low as $89. Yes, we are in a pandemic, but there is no reason why you can't take advantage of resources like this so that you can hit the ground running once everything starts back up. Plus, 10% of every sale goes to charity, so it's an opportunity to both get your knowledge up and throw some money in the pot for a good cause. How is that not like a win-win for everybody? As filmmakers, we gotta keep learning new things and cultivating new skills to get to that next level. I got the bundle, man. I checked it out. I think it's a good deal for you cats. I will leave a link below where you can pick it up, and if you use that link, I do get a small commission from that sale. You should know it goes toward helping to keep some of the lights on in this mof. And yeah, man, like take advantage of that cool opportunity and just like get your knowledge up. Back to the video.
Focus on progress. There are no guarantees in this game, boys and girls. Success, fame, fortune, getting projects greenlit, securing financing. We don't have as much control over these things as we would like. But here's the good news. You are always gonna learn more from your failures than you will your successes, and knowledge stacks. Knowledge is like interest in a bank account. The more you learn, the more you're able to learn. Eventually, you kind of reach like a tipping point, right? Where success is inevitable. You know too much not to be successful. Rather than dwell and ruminate on what didn't work or what didn't happen, why don't we shift our focus over to what we learned from this experience? What lessons can you take with you into the next project? You did not come out of this experience empty-handed. It might feel like it, but you didn't. You actually learned something. You probably learned a lot of things. Take a moment, list those things out. I guarantee guarantee you, if you do this, you will feel more empowered rather than defeated. Success is nothing but a series of small wins, and some of those small wins come from failure. A lot of people fail their way into success. As they say, the master has failed more times than the beginner has cared to try. Failure is such a big part of learning how to do what we do and become successful. Walking while you think. Last but not least, keep your head up. I know it may seem easier to say right now, but yes, like absolutely keep your head up. There is kind of a trick to doing this, and it's called walking while you think. And no, I don't mean literally walking, it's figurative. You have more perseverance than you realize. Definition: perseverance is the hard work you do after you're already exhausted from the hard work you've already done. Nobody feels like they have what it takes 100% of the time. You show me somebody who is that confident out of the gate, and I'll show you a narcissist and probably a liar. Doubt is a part of the game. It's a natural process in this journey we call filmmaking. This trade is hard, it's challenging. I can't tell you how many times I thought of quitting filmmaking and YouTube at some point. Like, these thoughts, they will cross your mind. The only way to combat those thoughts when they happen is to follow your feet. For example, your last project fell through, and right about now you're really thinking, do I really have what it takes to do this film thing, or am I kidding myself? All of those thoughts are completely natural. Take all the time in the world to think about that if you need to. Just do it while you're working on the next project. Just keep moving. That is probably the most powerful thing that you can do. Just keep moving. If we only did the dishes when we felt like it, the dishes would probably never get done, right? If we only took out the trash when we felt like it, the trash would probably never get taken out. You kind of have to treat film the same way. In those seasons when you're doubting yourself and you're thinking, do I really have what it takes? Just keep going. Trust me, you're not alone in this. In this filmmaking journey, there are peaks and valleys. And the peaks are great. They're easy, right? But it's what you do in the valleys that's most important. Like, it's what you do down here in the gutter that defines you. Do you just say, not for me? Or do you say, stick it out? Hey, you know what? I'm gonna ride. I'm just gonna do it. If success just comes easy to you and you don't have to work very hard for it, and there were never any disappointments along the way, then, you know, the victory kind of doesn't mean as much. So there's that. I don't know what will happen with Stay Pretty. Hopefully I can finish it. We'll see. In the case that I am not able to finish it, I have more than a few back pocket ideas that I can just move on to. Meanwhile, I've already started itemizing that list of what I learned. Get in the comments and let me know if you're one of those peeps like me who had a project going on and this whole pandemic just derailed all of it. I can't answer every comment, obviously, but I do read them all. Link below for that wholesale deal that I mentioned earlier. A great opportunity to get your knowledge up. And remember, make every single day count. Rack up that 10K. Keep that hustle going. D-Brit out.